is, would you love to be able to predict the future? Would you be able to love to be able to tell what your future is going to hold? Well, we're going to talk about how you take what's about to happen in the not yet, how you take the future and you place it in the hands of God. How do you place the future in the hands of your higher power? How do you place the future in the hands of the infinite intelligence, the divine mind? How do you place the future, which is what's causing whatever it is you're worried about? It always has something to do with the focus on the past or a focus on the future. So we're going to talk about how I can place the future in the hands of God. So the first thing I want to ask you to do is to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Today we're going to do something that your ego, the image you made up, absolutely hates. We're going to stop trying to run the future. Stop trying to run the future. We're going to stop trying to run the future. And the Course in Miracles teaches that the future is not yet. So sometimes when you're reading A Course in Miracles, you can substitute the word not yet for the word future. And it would go something like this. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the future I place the future in the hands of God. I place the future in the hands of love. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the future in the hands of God. That means I place the not yet in the hands of God. You place what's the not yet. Future means not yet. Future means not yet. So if you're afraid about something in the future, you're being afraid about something in the not yet. It's not yet. It's not yet. If it's in the future, it's not yet. So you're going to place the not yet into the hands of the Creator. You want to place the not yet into the hands of God. You want to place the not yet in the hands of God. So if you're going to stop trying to run the future, your first reaction might be, oh no, I don't want to do that. I've seen God's timing. Sometimes it don't seem like God does it as fast as I want the higher power to do it. So, oh no. But you are exactly in the right class. It's no accident. It's no accident that you're here today. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. So this is going to be a book intensive class. All of you online, love you, appreciate you. Thank you for all the thousands of views that's been happening. It's been kind of freaking me out, but it's been a good thing. It's like, oh my God, there's a few people that wants to hear something that's coming through me. So we're going to be on lesson 194. I place the future in the hands of God. I got some extra books up here. It's going to be on page 370 in the workbook, the blue book of the Course in Miracles. So that means we're going to read the actual course. I'm going to read it out loud together. And before we read, I want to remind you what the workbook says at the beginning. You don't have to believe these ideas. You don't have to accept these ideas. You don't even have to welcome these ideas. Just use them. Just use these ideas. Whatever you're suffering from, whatever's causing you to feel unhappy right now, there's an answer. There's a solution. I'm glad that thrilled everybody. If there is a problem that you think you have right now, or anything in your life that's causing you any fear, any conflict, there's an answer and a solution that's available to you. And even if you don't like something that you hear today, we're still going to practice it. You can adjust your attitude later. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the not yet in the hands of God. I place the not yet. I place what hasn't happened to me yet in the hands of the Creator. Today's idea, I place the future in the hands of God, takes another step. The Course in Miracles says, read me slowly. Today's idea, I place the future in the hands of God, takes another step to a quick salvation, which is healing. But it's a giant stride. What is a giant stride? For you to focus on, you're going to place your future in the hands of God. I'm going to say that again. The Course in Miracles is a spiritual teaching. It's not a traditional self-help book that's trying to teach you how to handle everything by yourself without God even better. The Course is not trying to strengthen the ego, which is the sense that you can do this and figure all this out all by yourself. The Course in Miracles is not trying to strengthen your ability to solve all your problems and figure everything out yourself, by yourself. That's not what the Course in Miracles is about. The Course in Miracles is about you taking a big step today towards your healing. And it says, so great the distance is that it encompasses. It sets you down just short of heaven. If you take this step today, it will set you down just short of complete love, complete reality, complete peace. The Course in Miracles says heaven is perfect joy. Heaven is complete joy. So when you experience heaven, you are experiencing complete joy. So this step today, the idea that you're going to place your future in the hands of your higher power will set you down right before the peace and the love that you want and the solution that you want right now. This one idea. So it sets you down just short of heaven with the goal in sight and obstacles behind. So what is heaven? Heaven is when you can see the goal in sight and all your obstacles are behind you. So this lesson can put your obstacles behind you. This lesson can put your obstacles behind you. Your foot has reached the lawns that welcome you to heaven's gate. So you are right outside of love's gate. You are right outside love's gate. If you're studying and reading the Course in Miracles, don't let the Christian terminology throw you. The Course in Miracles is always only talking about love or fear. So all you have to do is substitute love or fear. For instance, when it says, so great the distance is that it encompasses, it sets you down just short of heaven with the goal in sight and obstacles behind could be read, and so great the distance that this lesson encompasses, that this lesson sets you down just short of love with the goal in sight and obstacles behind. So it's always talking about love or fear. So you have come to the quiet place of peace where you await with certainty the final step of God. How far are we progressing now from earth? How close are we approaching our goal? How close are we approaching our goal? How short the journey, how short the journey still to be pursued. I want to be most helpful and supportive to students and people who are reading and studying the course. So my focus is going to be on using the book, working out of the book, learning how to read the book, learning how to let the blocks go. That's going to be my focus all through the next year, is working with devoted students who want to get past their blocks and want to take advantage of my 45 years of teaching and studying this so that they can be motivated to understand the course more for themselves. That's my goal. That's what I want to come out of my classes. What I want to come out of my classes is a person being motivated to change themselves for the better. A person being motivated to do their own study and to make their own relationship to the higher power stronger and more real. That's what I want to do. You know why? Because this book has some stuff in it that's so deep and that will freak you out in terms of what it's teaching. That's so awesome that if you don't do any study on your own, then nothing that I'm going to say will make any difference whatsoever. That's one of the things I'm loving about having the membership section on my website, because I'm going to create things that are specially geared toward people who are students of the course and helping them on their journey. So I'll be doing a lot of stuff working with those people because I'm full. It's been 45 years. I want to talk beyond a beginner level. And I want to share my deeper understanding of the time that I put in this. And you can't do it with people who are not committed at all to it, even though you're glad to be helpful to anybody. I'm thankful for anybody that drops in or looks at it or whatever. But the thing that I'm most excited about is saving people time. The course teaches that the purpose of a relationship is to save you time, not delay you, but to save you time. So since I've already put in 45 years, I did that for you. So you don't have to put in 45 years to get the benefit of my 45 years. Just like you don't have to learn how to do auto mechanics to benefit from the mechanic who has all that experience that they're bringing to your car. And that's what I feel about the Course in Miracles. It's like I'm watching people struggle constantly and feeling upset about stuff that the Course in Miracles tells them exactly what to do to get out of that unhappiness. That you don't have to be in your unhappiness, but you won't be able to figure it out by yourself. So it's saying to us right now, accept today's idea. What is today's idea? Today's idea is I place the future in the hands of God. If you have a problem with the word God, just get over it. Okay? Just get over it. That's your problem, that's not mine. I love the word. It's like, come on, Earl, you love the word. You say it. And you can also say that it represents all that is. So the truth is, it says, if you accept that you place the future in the hands of God, then you have also released the world from all imprisonment. How do you release the world from all imprisonment? He says, by loosening the heavy chains that lock the door to freedom on the world. You are saved, and your salvation, your healing, your forgiveness, your right-mindedness, these are all definitions from the Course, thus becomes the gift you give the world because you have received it. If I become more sane and loving, then that's going to be my gift that I'm going to offer the world because I have let myself receive the truth and I've let myself receive the sanity. So if you're letting yourself receive the truth, then you become the gift that actually is given to the world. Somebody that's walking this world in joy and peace and love and not attacking and not projecting and taking responsibility, that joker is the gift for everybody. That's somebody that's a gift for whoever they come around. And people who like drama and conflict, they're not going to hang around a person like that. So if you really become a loving, giving person, you don't have to really worry about the circle of friends you're going to have, because people who love drama are repelled from people who love peace. So they won't really be in your life giving you a hard time anyway, because they need drama. So they're going to go toward the drama. So realize that you are the door of freedom. You are the example of freedom, like it's saying here. In no one instant is depression felt. In no one instant is pain experienced. In no one instant is loss perceived. In no one instant sorrow can be set upon a throne and worshiped faithfully. Some people just worship their sadness, and they just worship their problems, and they worship their pain. And the Course in Miracles says, stop faithfully worshiping your sorrow and your unhappiness, because in no one instant, the truth is, in no one instant, he says, can one even die. And so each instant given to God, each instant given to love in passing, with the next instant given to God, given to love already, is a time of your release. So my mind goes, okay, what it just told me is a time of my release. So what did it just say to me? It just said this was going to be a time of my release. It says right there, if I want to be released, I've got to give this minute to God, and then I have to give the next minute to my higher power, then I have to give the next minute to my higher power, then I have to give the next minute to love, I have to give the next minute to freedom, I have to give the next minute to God, and the next minute to God, and the next minute to God. It says right here, in each instant given unto God as it passes, with the next instant given to God already, is a time of your release, a time of your release from what? Sadness, pain, and death. Okay, let me get this straight, because I want to remember this. That's why I'm the divine repetition teacher. Sorry about that. Woo! I'm sincere, but I swear, y'all, let's not try to be serious. Come on, okay. Good grief, because the temptation is to get serious about this, and I have to remember getting serious about this is how I got into the separated world to begin with. It was that I had a thought I forgot to laugh at and took it as a serious idea, like I could be separate from love, separate from God, just a body that dies one day, that has no power to create my reality, because I'm just a human being hoping that the government does me right. That is completely an untrue perception of myself. So the Course is saying to us that what the Course is saying is basically this: the only place you are ever safe is now, in the present. The only way you feel unsafe is by trying to control things that haven't happened yet. What makes a person feel unsafe is constantly trying to control what's not happened yet. And they feel unsafe because they don't know what's going to happen next. And so they try to control it. Remember what we covered last week, and when it said the healed mind does not plan. The healed mind doesn't plan. A healed mind doesn't plan. A healed mind doesn't plan. So what does a healed mind do? It carries out a plan that it receives through wisdom that's greater than its own. A person that's healed gets the plan from their higher self and then implements the plan they get from their higher self. And we were told that if you're following the plan that's being given by God, then there won't be any obstacles that bar your way. There won't be anything that's causing you an obstacle if you're following the plan that's coming from your higher self. And it's going to be a plan that benefits you, but it's also going to be a plan that benefits everybody. So a plan that's coming from you is a plan that's just about your personal interest and your personal happiness. A plan that's coming from love, a plan that's coming from God, a plan that will not fail, is going to be a plan that's going to bring benefit to you and is going to bring benefit to everybody else. And you would be adequate to do it. God would never ask you to do something you can't do now. Spirit wouldn't ask you to do something you couldn't do now. Spirit wouldn't ask you to do something. So how can I tell my plan? My plan can't happen today. My plan can't happen today. A plan that's coming from the ego is a plan that you can't do today. It would be something you couldn't apply today. So it would be something like, I'm going to be happy after I finish medical school. And when I finish medical school, then I'm going to really be happy. It's something like, when I get this house and I'm able to close on this house in 3 months, then I'm going to be anything that you come up with that has to do with the outer and it's not something you could see or do right now. It is your ego. It is your ego. It is your false self that's giving you that plan, and that's why it hasn't manifested, and that's why it's a struggle to do, because it's not a plan that's divinely orchestrated. So how can I tell if I'm listening to the right mind? If I'm listening to the right mind, it's going to be something I can do, and it's going to be something that's going to be easy for me to do, and it's going to be something that I love to do. And I'm able to do it right now. If it's my plan, I don't know how it's going to happen. I have a lot of doubt about it, and it's calling for something outside of myself, and it's going to be something that I think has to happen way in the future. That's the ego plan. That's the plan of the part of you that's not listening to God. So you already know how it's going to turn out before you even do it. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get that house, and you're not going to let yourself be happy with it. You're going to get that car, maybe, but you're not going to, you see what I'm saying? If it's coming from your ego, you may indeed manifest it, but if it's coming from your ego, you won't give yourself any peace about it, and the mind will go to the next thing that you're supposed to be concerned about. Have you noticed that if there is not one thing, it's another? Have you not noticed that as soon as you think you got one problem solved, then another one pops up? The Course has said the reason why your problems keep changing is you haven't really recognized what the problem is. When you don't know what the problem is, it keeps showing up. So anything, any pattern you have in your life that keeps repeating itself, you can be rest assured you don't really know what the problem is with your finances. You don't really know what the problem is with your relationship. You don't really know what the problem is with your coworkers. You don't really know what the problem is on your job. You don't really know what the problem is with your health. Because if you really knew what the problem was, the problem would be solved. So what's a kind of a challenge about the Course is it calls for a person to be so out of denial and willing to tell the truth about themselves. You know, sometimes denial is the only way a person can stand themselves, is that they be in denial about how selfish or unloving or unaware they really are. So denial is what the ego uses to think it's all cool, while at the same time it knows it has grievances and upsets that have not been dealt with yet. So, have a nice day. Do you know that last sentence says, you want to give each instant unto God in passing, with the next one given to God already. That's going to be a time of your release from sadness, pain, and guess what? Death too. So I'll say this again. The Course in Miracles says, when you really learn how to give things to the higher power, you will not die. So when I say I place the future into the hands of God, what I'm really saying is I admit I don't know what will make me happy. I admit it. I don't know what will make me happy. That's what I place the future in the hands of God. That's another way of looking at it. You don't know what makes you happy. That's why you're not happy. You don't know what makes you happy. All unhappy people out there, every unhappy person in this room and out there, the truth is you don't know how to make yourself happy. You don't know how to make yourself happy. You don't know how to make yourself happy. The truth is you don't know how to make yourself happy. So that's why you want to place your future in the hands of God, because you don't know how to make yourself happy. You didn't create yourself. You didn't create yourself. So you don't know how to make yourself happy. That's why when you achieve happiness, it doesn't last. The reason why your happiness doesn't last is because it's not real happiness. Real happiness never ends. Real happiness only expands. Real happiness never ends. Real happiness doesn't come and go. Real happiness doesn't come and go. Real happiness doesn't come and go. So if you have had happiness and are having happiness that doesn't last, then that means you have not seen that the answer is to learn how to place your future in the hands of God, that which created you, that which loves you. And all the things in the world are bringing us to the point that we're going to see our systems do not work. So we're going to reach our limit that makes you say there must be a better way. And that's what you see happening in the world right now. Is we are seeing the system doesn't work. It's not based on the truth. It doesn't work. So what would work? What would work would be for God, higher power, to be in charge of my future and what happens to me in the not yet. That's the answer. So what do I need to do? I need to learn how to give this instant to the truth, this minute to God, and then when the next one comes, let me give it to love too. If I truly do that, I will not experience pain, suffering, or death. So I don't know anybody that's done it yet personally. So I can't use my friends, I can't use my acquaintances, and I can't use anybody I know as whether or not what this is saying is true, because I'm surrounded by people who are just like me. Sometimes they place the future in the hands of God, and sometimes they don't, and go through the changes that you go through when you don't do that. So we're all needing to remember this together. And that's why I'm looking forward to the weeding out process, because the weeding out process is how you end up with people who are totally in alignment with you and moving in the same direction, because those who it isn't their path or isn't their way, then they drop out. And they find their way, and it's not this way. Does this make sense to everybody? Right. See, if you're not your authentic self, you'll never know who can love you for yourself. And those who can't love you for yourself, they're going to bounce. But they're not going to bounce if you're not being true to yourself, because they're going to be attracted to the false you that you're being instead of your true you. So you have to keep acting out the false you in order to keep that relationship going. So authenticity is going to weed people out at first. So remember that, but you end up with the most supported people of a common state of mind and purpose that you've ever been with your life, in your life, and you all can move really fast together. Because the Course says if you want to learn something, it's got to be something you want to learn and something you believe is going to get you what you want if you learn it. I'll say it again. If you really want to get something, it has to be what you want, and you have to also believe that it is something that you are able to do because it's something that you feel love for, that you feel connected to. I love A Course in Miracles. 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 Every problem, hurt, pain, relationship challenge, financial challenge, career challenge, every challenge I've had in the last 45 years, when I turn to the Course in Miracles, It has been solved. It has been resolved. And I've also had blessings out of it. So it works. It really, really, really works for some people. For some people. For some people. Who are those people? The people that's willing to give it some attention, the people that's ready to give it some study. Because Jesus of the Course in Miracles says you can't get something without giving it some level of attention and some level of study. So I'm doing the weeding out. I'm doing the weeding out. So I can move really fast with people who want to move really fast with me. So I have to have faith, right? I can't care how many people show up at a class. I can't care how much anything outside of me is affecting me right now. I've got to trust that I'm placing my future in the hands of God. How can I make sure I keep applying the truth to every minute in my life? Well, then I want to read it and study it, but I also want to join with other people who also share that same purpose with me. Then we move fast. But you can't move fast with someone who doesn't value it and doesn't believe it's going to get them what they want. So you got to tell yourself, the Course in Miracles is going to get me what I want. Practicing the truth is going to get me what I want. Practicing the truth is going to give me that health I want. It's going to give me my perception of love. It's going to give me my perception of the truth that I'm studying is going to give me what I want. If you don't tell yourself it's going to give you what you want, it's hard to stay motivated toward doing something that you don't feel is going to give you what you want. And another thing is, if you don't believe something is going to give you what you want, you don't do it. It's just that simple. If I really thought I could keep my house from burning down when the fire breaks out by using the fire extinguisher, then I'm going to go straight to the fire extinguisher and not the television. And I'm going to use it to put the fire out. So if you don't use this and you don't move toward this, it's not what you believe will get you what you want. And you're innocent. I'm not condemning you at all. So then it tells us that what the Course is saying basically is the only place you're ever safe is in the present, and the only way you feel unsafe is by trying to control what hasn't happened yet. So when I say I place the future in the hands of God, what I'm really saying is, what that person is really saying is, I admit I don't know what will make me truly happy. I admit that I don't know what will truly make me happy. And I am willing to let love handle what I don't understand. I'm willing to let love handle what I don't understand. I'm willing to let God handle what I don't understand. I'm willing to have God handle what I don't understand. I place my future in the hands of God. See, if I say I place my future in the hands of God, but I don't have anything to relate that to, it won't stick to me. But if I can relate it to the fact that it's saying I'm willing to admit that I don't know exactly how to make myself happy because I've never done it consistently all the time. I've only had happiness that comes and goes, happiness that comes and goes, happiness that comes and goes. I've only had happiness that comes and goes. So if I've only had happiness that comes and goes, then I really haven't ever experienced happiness. Do you know what the Course says you've experienced when you have happiness that comes and goes? It says what you're experiencing is a pleasant form of fear. You're just experiencing, so it's still fear, but it's fear you like. Sort of like when you go to an amusement park and you're screaming because you're on some kind of ride, that's fear you like. So the Course is saying people haven't experienced real love who haven't placed their future in the hands of God. All they've been experiencing is some form of fear that they like, and you know it's a fear because you're trying to hang on to it, you're trying to make sure you don't lose it, and sometimes you're trying to make sure don't nobody else steal it. So that's not love. So the truth is, I don't really know what would really make me happy. I don't really know what would give me a permanent happiness that never ends, that just expands and that grows. So I'm willing to let love handle what I don't understand. Say that to yourself. Even if you don't say that out loud, say to yourself, I'm willing to let love handle what I don't understand. I'm willing to let the higher power handle what I don't understand. I'm willing to have the part of me that does understand handle the things, the part of me that does not understand. If you were willing to say, I admit that I don't know what will make me truly happy, and also admit I'm willing to let love handle what I don't understand, now you're beginning to loosen your grip on the future. Now you're beginning to let go of your control, and now you're opening yourself up to the guidance of the Holy Spirit, which is your higher power, the voice for God, the voice for truth. So how do you know when you're opening up to that voice? The way that you know is you say, I admit I don't know how to make myself happy all the time. I admit that I'm willing to let God handle what I don't understand. That's how I know I'm beginning to loosen my grip on trying to control an unknown future that I don't even know what's going to happen in. So I can't pull that off. I can pretend that I know what's going to happen so that that'll make me feel some form. But like, in other words, we just take it for granted when we leave here, we're going to make it to wherever our next destination is. Because that makes us feel safe to go. But if you actually thought about all the things that could happen to you that could keep you from making that destination, then that's not too pleasant. So I've got to not focus on the stuff that would frighten me about my next destination, and I need to focus on the fact that I really don't know what's going to happen after I leave here. So I need to learn how to give this moment to God, and the next 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 moment to God. Now, I'm giving my moment to God. I feel peace about that. That's how I know I'm giving it to the higher power. I feel more peace. But then in the next moment, I'm worried about, can I pay a bill? Okay, now I've just created a gap of fear in the love. So the reason why I'm feeling fear in this moment is I'm still not giving this moment to God. I'm not giving this moment to love. I'm giving this moment to my worries. I'm giving this moment to my concerns. So if a person's wondering why they feel good 1 minute and why they don't feel good the next minute, it's what you were telling yourself in 1 minute and then what you were telling yourself in the next one. Thank you, God, for giving me an opportunity to teach what it is I need to learn and remember. Thank you for creating a situation where you inspired me to be a teacher, which guaranteed that I have to keep letting the truth come through me. And because I'm constantly every day teaching and letting the truth come through me, then I get a chance to hear it. I get a chance to remember it. And then I get a chance to have my world reflect that love and that truth back to me in terms of the answers to any problems that I think I have, and surrounding me with people who are very loving. Thank you for giving me this easy way I can place the future in the hands of God. It's just for me to use each minute focusing on God, each minute focusing on the truth, each minute focusing on the truth, each minute focusing on the abundance, on forgiveness, on peace. Then in each moment, that's what I'll have. And then my physical world will reflect that back to me in my perception. You hear that, Lisa? Wow. Any questions about or comments about what I've said so far? I'm trying to make it simple and understandable and clear. I'm not interested in how fast we move. I want us to remember together.
Is it possible for me to continue my life here on this plane and still keep my mind on God at all times?
That's the lesson, is to learn how to remember the truth right here in the midst of this dream that we call this life that we're having. That's the whole purpose. I don't know about you all, but after having studied the course for so long and taught it for so long, all of the things in the world that seem fearful and frightening,
I don't know what they do to you, but for me, they remind me to focus on the truth and focus on course and focus on study. So when I hear about the tragedies of this dream world, it makes me want to focus on the truth and then apply it to that situation so that I'll have more peace.
So that's what separation is having your mind in the world, but your heart with God?
Well, the separation is forgetting that we are joined with God and that we are God and that we are love. The separation is the idea that we're separate from each other and that we're different from each other and that we're not connected to each other.
But this would be one instance of separation, would it not?
There's just one separation. It just took a lot of different appearances according to course. That's why it looks like there's a variety of ways. He says it's just one error that we fractured and multiplied. But the thing that you want to remember, now remember this, the thing that you want to remember is that you want to learn how to give this minute to God and the next minute to God and the next minute to God. And that if you do that, you will be released from sadness, pain, and death. So if I'm not released from pain and death in my perception, then I know I still need to be learning how to give each instant, each minute to God, which would be me learning how to use everything in the world to remind me of God, to use everything in the world to remind me of truth.
Thank you.
Yeah. The person who has lack, who's on the spiritual path, would go, oh, what causes my lack? We'll be thinking that I'm separate from God, or having a lot of guilt and having a lot of grievances. In other words, now everything that happens in the world triggers me to think about the things the Course has taught me. Where it used to be, the world could distract me and I forget what the truth was teaching me, and then I would just project and get angry. You see what I'm saying? It used to be the world would make me engage it with attack and defense. Now the world makes me get to my book as fast as I possibly can to remember what it is I'm being told to do. So now I'm using the world to free me, where I was using the world to limit me. Same world. Like when I hear people talking now and they're saying something I don't agree with, or they look at it differently from me, or I think it's wrong, I don't say anything. I don't correct them. I don't try to fix them. I don't try to do anything to change anything about them. And you know what happened? 10 times more peace in my life. 1,000 times more peace. I don't care whether anybody agrees with me anymore. I don't need their validation for me to practice the truth of work. It's certainly not the validation of somebody that's not even trying to do any personal growth work themselves, or trying to look at their own experience differently. A regular person, you're gonna let a regular person that thinks that you're separate from them, that's full of grievances, determine how you value yourself and how you feel? That's a trick. So I need to give each instant to God. I need to give each instant to the truth. So every time you're focusing on the truth with me right now, that's you using the present moment to focus on the truth. Wow. Anybody else? Any question before I go to the next part? Yes, darling.
I don't have a question, I just have a comment.
Okay, beautiful.
What I really like is combining what you're saying today with the still have compassion when you're having your feelings.
Yes.
Right, so you can go to the book and you can go to remembering to be present, and until you're fully there, just have grace for yourself.
Well, it would be kind of redundant for me to want to learn how to fly a plane coming into the first class already knowing how to fly the plane, and then getting upset with myself because I can't fly the plane because I'm hearing about one day I'm going to fly the plane. So that's what happens here. People are coming in here, they should forgive, and they should forgive everybody and be loving to everybody, and then they judge themselves sometimes because they think they ought to be able to immediately do that just because they heard that at some point they're going to have to do that. So it's just the opposite, really. It's like, oh, I got the goal of forgiveness, so that means all of the heavenly angels in God are totally backing me up every kind of way. Readiness is not mastery, so when I don't pull it off, I'm being forgiven. I'm being looked at as a happy learner. I'm being looked at as a person who haven't mastered it yet, but at least I'm trying to move into the direction of peace. So that's what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. I don't expect if I don't like something or I don't like somebody, I don't try to be spiritual in the form of pretending that I like them, because if I said I like them, then somehow I'm being positive. Who gives a hoot about being positive? I want to be authentic. I want to tell the truth about where I am and how I feel. Why? Because I've already been told my Creator does not condemn me. My Creator does not judge me. My Creator does not punish me. My Creator just lovingly corrects me. So I don't have to have my feelings because I don't sound positive. It's like, no, he's already told me, Earl, you need to look at your darkness. You need to look at your fear. You need to look at your anger. That's how the Holy Spirit's going to see it, is through you, so that it can be shown away. But how am I going to shine something away that I'm not willing to admit is there? So sometimes the spiritual ego takes over when a person's on the spiritual path, and then they start pretending that they've achieved a level of consciousness that they haven't achieved yet. And so they get blindsided. And then they get freaked out. Well, how did that happen? You're like, well, you still got some unconscious guilt that you're not willing to own up to because you're telling yourself you're beyond it now. Okay, you're innocent. You're still going to be supported. You're still going to be helped. And he's saying it here. God holds your future as God holds your past and present. Your past and your present and your future are the same thing to your higher power. Guess what? You should see your past, present, and future as one also. Then, well, how do you see your past, present, and future as one? You see your past, present, and future as one by giving each minute over to the truth, each minute over to God, practicing your path all the time. That's you allowing your past, present, and future to be one. He's saying it right here. Yet in this world, the temporal progression still seems real. In this world, time still seems real. Does it not? The temporal progression, I'm having a birth. My body is having a continuation day tomorrow. 75 just means I've completed my body has completed 75 years here. I'm not 75 tomorrow. I'm eternal. I never die. I was never born. I don't have a birthday. My body has a birthday. My ego has a birthday, because that's when the part of me that thinks it's separate and entered a body came into this world. How do you keep your body from aging? Here's a secret. The way you keep your body from aging is to not identify with it. The way to keep your body healthy is to see your body as a medium for learning and giving and receiving love. The Course teaches that the body wouldn't even change if you were using it for what it was meant to be used for, which to me sounds like it wouldn't be even aging. So are you trying to tell me that the reason I have a lot of pain and conflict in my life, or a lot of pain and conflict in my body, is because I'm not using it correctly, that I'm not using myself correctly, that I'm not communicating correctly, and that's why I have these whole host of problems that I'm dealing with right now? Is it because I'm not fulfilling my function? Yes, all of the problems that you think you have are being perceived because you're not fulfilling your function. What is your function? Your function is to be happy. Your function is to let me make you happy, allow you to have your happiness, so that everyone will see, if they focus on the truth, this is what happens. He literally says, your function is to be happy. And I'm going to remove and help you remove every block that keeps you from experiencing that. And the key to experiencing your happiness, first of all, is to remember you cannot make yourself happy. You know you can't because you never pulled it off where it was permanent, unchanging, and only growing. So nothing I'm saying is theoretical. But the Course also teaches that what I'm teaching from the Course is the last thing people want to hear. So I have the honor of teaching something that nobody wants to listen to at first. The Course in Miracles brings up a ridiculous amount of defenses and resistances from people beyond anything that I've ever seen anybody study. And the Course itself says that. Your ego is going to be frightened when it hears this stuff, and your ego is going to try to get you away from it so it can still maintain its separation and the problems and the conflicts that you're going through because you don't love yourself and you think you deserve to suffer, but you don't know that that's what's going on. So then people go, well, what do I do? Place your future in the hands of God. I need to take this moment and learn how to give it to love, how to give it to the higher power. That's what it's saying right here. So what do I want to do? I want to join and study and join with people who also want to learn how to give love the rulership of every moment in their life. Well, what does that have to do with me needing to go to the dentist? Well, if you're seeing your body correctly, you wouldn't have to go. And if you're not seeing your body correctly and you have to go, you're going to be treated with love. You're going to be helped with love. You're going to have spirit in there while you're getting your tooth worked on. You won't be doing it without love. You won't be doing it by yourself. So I want people in my life that want a relationship with their higher power, and it's something that they want to actually commit themselves to so that we can all move in that direction swiftly together. That's what I want. I'm asking for what I want. The Course in Miracles says you need to ask for what you want and then ask, what are you doing it for? Please listen to this more than once. Please listen to this at least 4 times. Please listen to this more than once. Please listen to this more than once. Please listen to this. You are placing your future in the hands of God, because I have a sneaking suspicion you won't hear this on your network news today. I was watching the newscast the other day. It was so much fearful stuff being shot out in that broadcast that at one point it just became funny. It's like, how many ways can I try to scare the hell out of you every possible way about everything? But for me, I use it as an opportunity to practice my workbook lesson, because there's a workbook lesson that he says you're supposed to say, God did not create that automobile crash, so it is not real, permanent, and everlasting. God did not create that plane crash. God did not create that cancer. God did not create that. God did not create. You're supposed to say that every time you see any of the tragedies that you see and hear about in the paper or on the news, you're supposed to say, God did not create that, and so it is not real. Real means permanent, eternal, and everlasting. So there's nothing that we are seeing on TV or hearing that's real, that is eternal, permanent, and everlasting. So that's what you're supposed to say to give that minute to God, because now you're practicing the truth in that minute. Are you listening, Purdy? Yeah, I'm listening. So I want you to admit that you don't know what would make you truly happy, and I want you to admit that you're willing to let love handle what you don't understand. I want you to admit that you are beginning to lose your grip, let go of your grip on your future, so that that which can really make you happy would be free to do its thing. Let that which created you do its thing. Get out of your way. 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 You don't know how to give yourself permanent, constant happiness. You do not know how to do that. So you want to let the part of you that does know, you want to let God show you and help you remove all the blocks of the happiness that you really want right now. Okay, I'm going to stop here and give you an opportunity to see how much of it that you can remember, knowing that every time you remember anything that the truth is teaching, that's you giving that moment to the Holy Spirit, that's you giving that moment to God, that's you giving that moment to love. And so therefore, the next moment shows up, you give that moment to truth, you give that moment to truth, you give that moment to love, and then when the next instant shows up, no matter what shows up in that instant, all you have to do is be willing to go, I place this situation in the hands of God. I place this situation into the hands of my higher power. I place my financial situation. See, being spiritual don't mean you can't place any and everything, even your illusions, even what you consider to be your physical illusions. You can place that into the hands of God. There is no exception to what you can give to the higher power. So you would want to be able to say, I place my money future in the hands of God. You want to be able to say, I place my health future in the hands of God. I want to be able to say, I place my relationship in the hands of God. Doesn't mean you're throwing it away. It doesn't mean you're abandoning responsibility. It just means you are changing managers. You're changing manager. You're firing your old manager. The fear manager, the guilt manager, the lack manager. It's time for you to fire that manager. And you're going to hire the Holy Spirit. So you're firing the ego and you're actually hiring the Holy Spirit. You're hiring your higher power. That's going to be your future department manager. Thank you online. Thank you in the room. Thank you to people online. Thank you to people in the room. Thank you. Don't forget, right now I'm doing lifetime, one-time memberships to my website for the people that I'm going to be working with on a personal level on the website. And so I'm doing a lifetime right now for a financial investment of $97 to the first of the year, which is, today is the 14th. And so we're doing it to the end of 2025. Abundance is your natural state. Abundance is our natural state. Abundance is our natural state. Abundance is our natural state. Those of you online that want to make a financial expression of appreciation, you just go to earlpurdy.com, and you can also use Zelle and Venmo and PayPal and the Cash App. You just need my email address, earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. Earl Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y, at earlpurdy.com. And I want to thank you for what I've already received. I'm now on Facebook Live and also YouTube Live. So either one of those, you can see the live and you can see the replay. Take a breath. And you can book a session with me, an astrological, numerological session, as well as a clarity session. Your problem is not unsolvable. Your problem is not unsolvable. Your problem is not unsolvable. I place my future in the hands of God. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the
future in the hands of God. I place the future in the hands of God. I place the not yet in the hands of God. I place the not yet in the hands of God. You place the not yet in the hands of God. You place the not yet in the hands of love. You place the not yet in the hands of love. You place the not yet in the hands of love. Mighty companions, may the course be with you. May the course be with you.